Let's clean my studio.
The state of my studio is the result of getting overwhelmed, of letting a season of extreme busyness get on top of me. It's the result of struggle with executive function. And when is the right time to deal with all of this? Obviously, it's when I'm sick with the flu. When I first got sick, I lay in bed for 3 days and I was still not well at this point, but I was rested and I was very bored. And so I was like, this is it. We got to do this. Let's get this done. I started by taking everything out. It was that kind of situation. It'd been a while since I had cleaned out the studio, and I live in northern Thailand. It's sort of outdoors in the way that the insects and geckos live inside with me, and spiders as well, and everything, and nothing is really sealed. So there is quite a lot to sweep up. Here I take a little break. I'm still very tired. I still have the flu, but I'm moving along slowly. But I can get so down on myself for not being ahead, for being far behind. And then it just becomes this litany in my head. I'm down on myself. I'm terrible. And I feel like I never get it, you know? I'll never catch up to where people are. I'll never have what people have. I don't know. It's this weird story in my head, but I know that this is all about little bits, little habits, and little ways of getting things done. I'm full of ideas. I have so many things I want to do well. Sometimes I have too many ideas and too little time, a lot of half-finished projects. Sometimes the fact that they're half-finished already sends enough of a signal, like it's not okay. And so I just steer clear of them. At this point, I have almost everything out on the porch and it's time to clean up inside. I have done the shelf. I am now cleaning the tables. I am prancing by with a stack of my books that I have written and published. Always very happy to be holding my books. And I'm going to start putting the pieces back together and deciding, like, what do I really want? So these little habits are things I'm learning bit by bit, and seasons go in and out. Like, I was doing really well for a while with cleaning the kitchen every night. That was a habit I really wanted to start. My family and I would get it done every night, but now we're in a season where we're resting and we've chosen something else. We've chosen that for a little while we're going to watch movies at night. We've got a list of movies we're making our way through. We've just watched all 3 Back to the Future movies. And so for this season, the kitchen's not getting cleaned as often. And I end up cleaning it in the morning, or the boys help me in the morning with it. And these things happen in seasons. But I know that I can keep returning, making these little habits happen. And one thing that I'm working on is not accepting things that are gifts that I don't want. By gifts, I mean we live in a place, a hot place. It's over 100 degrees on this day that I decided to clean things out. Over 40 degrees if you are someone who uses Celsius. We live in a place where people often leave and they can't carry stuff with them, so a lot of things get dropped off with me. Oh, here's a little glimpse of me as a 13-year-old looking like somebody's Uncle Larry. I do love art supplies. That's true, but I don't need all of them. And a lot of the ones that I have are things I haven't bought. They've been given to me. And so having a whole bunch of stuff cluttering up my space keeps me from making things because I get too overwhelmed and I don't have the space to think and to feel. So I'm learning about doing more with less. And that's been my focus through this whole exercise. I'm thinking rather than what should I keep or will I ever use this, I'm really trying to think about what can I bear to have cluttering my space right now. It's day 2 of doing this, and on the first day, it rained for the first time in over a month while I had all my stuff sitting outside. So I was running around at 11 at night, putting a tarp over it, carrying stuff inside. Meanwhile, I'm still sick with the flu at this point. I'm so tired, but it felt really worth it because I was finally doing something that I had been putting off for so long. I started to think creatively about ways to store things. One thing I chose, and I think there's many more things I can do this with in the future, like storing things in more creative ways. But I have all this beautiful embroidery thread, skeins of it that you can buy at the market here. And I decided to hang it on the wall on hooks rather than having it sit on my shelf like it was before. And I'm happy for it. I love the way it looks. And I'm thinking, am I going to use this? Is this worth being in my space? This is my space. This is one place. Look at me here, frozen, trying to figure out where to put something. just like absolutely in my head thinking, what is next? Where can I put that? How am I going to get to this? So there's a lot of things I've allowed to take up space in my life, and I don't actually want to let them take up so much space anymore. I want to be free. It takes time to look at what I have and think, is this really the way I want it? What am I just letting happen versus what do I really want? I don't want to feel crushed by the weight of things, even if they're gifts, even if they're beautiful. So this was an amazing exercise, going through everything and really choosing. I decided in the end to put my sewing machine and all my fabric upstairs in a different part of the house. It's kind of in a hallway, so it's not really in its own room, but it's not in my art space anymore. I decided to reserve this space for art, writing, and the embroidery thread on the wall, as well as some embroidery hoops. That's it. That's it. It's not going to be a place for my candle supplies. It's not going to be a place for my fabric. And on the third day, I was able to take everything off my desk and go through it and really look, because everything is a treasure to me. I love little things. I have a jar full of rocks. I have a jar full of redwood cones. I have beautiful things I can hold in my hand while I'm working. I love things. Things have a lot of value to me, but when they're cluttery, it's not okay. It feels like I can't actually, I don't know, think. And so on the third day, I got it done. I still need to think about what I'm going to do about cords. Cords are always a bit of like visual clutter to me, but I'm so happy with everything else. I have a table that's sort of for sacred things, a table shelf for art supplies, my bookshelves, of course, and then a table that is a place to draw and paint and create. And my desk, which is for writing and for note-taking and for filming and all of that. And look at it. Look how clear. Look how beautiful. I'm so happy I did this for myself.